Welcome back to our Visionary Leadership Circle, where we continue to explore critical skills and life strategies. In this second video of our special series, we deepen our exploration of the world of religions and their influence on leadership principles. Having looked at the monotheistic religions, Christianity, Islam and Judaism, and their contributions to effective leadership in Part 1, we now turn our attention to polytheistic and pantheistic belief systems, as well as African and Indigenous spirituality. We explore how these diverse faith approaches offer unique perspectives on leadership based on universal values such as compassion, integrity, and a sense of community. Today's world, faced with unprecedented global challenges, needs leaders who can think beyond traditional boundaries. By understanding the rich spiritual traditions that shape our human history, we can gain lessons for more effective and empathetic leadership in our professional and personal lives. Our goal with this second video is to provide you with further insights and practical lessons from polytheistic and pantheistic religions as well as African and Indigenous spirituality. We hope to inspire you to integrate these profound wisdoms into your own leadership practice. Follow us on this continuing journey to discover how the diversity of spiritual paths can enrich our view of leadership. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback is important to us in order to constantly improve our content. The following 3 topics: what is religion, spirituality and religion, the difference and the diversity of faith paths have already been covered in Part 1 of this mini-series. So if you have seen Part 1, you can skip it, but we recommend you watch it again as it will help your overall understanding of the content. Have fun! Religion is a system of beliefs, practices and ethical guidelines that provide spiritual and moral guidance for millions of people worldwide. It shapes the way individuals understand the world, interact with it and organize their relationships with other living beings and the environment. Religions can be monotheistic, polytheistic or pantheistic and encompass a variety of rituals, traditions and spiritual texts. As just mentioned, religions offer a broad spectrum of belief systems and worldviews that characterize people's spiritual lives. Monotheistic religions, such as Christianity, Islam and Judaism, are based on the belief in a single, all-powerful God who is worshipped as the creator and ruler of the universe. These faiths emphasize the personal relationship between the individual and the divine, guided by sacred scriptures and prayers. In contrast, polytheistic traditions, such as Hinduism and certain forms of ancient belief, recognize a multiplicity of deities representing different aspects of the world and human life. These religions are characterized by a rich pantheon of gods and goddesses whose worship is often associated with a plethora of rituals and festivals. Pantheistic beliefs, such as those found in certain Hindu traditions, see the divine in every element of nature. This worldview promotes a connection with the environment and a deep reverence for the universe, with meditation and rituals serving to celebrate this unity. Spirituality is a personal experience that focuses on the search for a deeper meaning in life, often independent of organized religions. It encompasses the individual connection to the divine or universal and emphasizes inner harmony and self-development. Religion refers to organized systems of beliefs, practices and moral guidelines shared by a community. It relies on specific teachings, sacred scriptures and rituals to define and nurture the relationship between humans and the divine. Religions and their diversity emerged as humanity's answers to fundamental questions of existence, such as the origin of life, the meaning of death, and the nature of good and evil. They provide structure and meaning in an often unpredictable world and fulfill the human need for belonging, comfort, and moral guidance. Different geographical, cultural, and historical contexts have led to the emergence of different faiths, each offering unique perspectives on the divine and human life. This diversity reflects the complexity of the human experience and enables individuals and communities to find spiritual paths that suit their beliefs and circumstances. Religions thus serve as bridges between the individual and the universe or God, between the personal and the transcendent. This diversity of faiths reflects the complex and varied ways in which people seek and understand the divine, and demonstrates the rich texture of spiritual experience in human history. Indigenous religions. Indigenous spiritual practices and belief systems can be found in indigenous communities around the world, from the Native Americans in North America to the Aborigines in Australia and the indigenous peoples of the Amazon. They are characterized by a deep connection with nature and the cosmos. Connection with nature. A core concept of indigenous religions is the deep connection with nature. This worldview does not see humans as separate from the natural world, but as an integral part of a larger ecological system. Everything in the universe is seen as alive and interconnected, including plants, animals, rocks, rivers, and the earth itself. This interconnectedness demands respect, care, and gratitude towards the natural world and guides people to live in harmony with the environment. Ancestor worship. Another central concept is ancestor worship, which plays an important role in indigenous cultures. Ancestors are not only seen as past ancestors, but as present and active members of the community whose spirit and wisdom continue to influence the lives of the living. The connection to the ancestors is cultivated through rituals, ceremonies, and storytelling. These practices are used to seek advice, protection, and spiritual guidance from the ancestors and to preserve cultural identity and heritage. Hinduism, one of the oldest religions in the world, originated around 4,000 years ago in the Indus Valley. It developed from the Vedic traditions of India's indigenous population and was shaped by philosophical writings such as the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. Hinduism, deeply rooted in India and Nepal, is a complex religion with a variety of deities, spiritual practices, and philosophical schools of thought. It emphasizes dharma, duty, karma, the consequences of actions, and moksha, liberation from rebirth, which guide ethical and spiritual life. Hindu rituals, such as puja, worship, and festivals, play an important role in daily life, with the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas serving as sacred texts. Dharma in Hinduism. Dharma is a central concept in Hinduism, which stands for law, duty, morality, and the cosmic order. It guides individuals to lead their lives according to the ethical and moral principles specific to their role in society, their stage of life, and their personal capabilities. Dharma promotes harmony and balance in the universe and supports individuals on their path to spiritual development. Moksha in Hinduism. Moksha represents liberation from the endless cycle of death and rebirth, samsara, and is the ultimate goal in Hinduism. It is achieved by realizing the true nature of the soul as one with the universal consciousness, Brahman, which leads to eternal bliss and freedom from all worldly bonds and suffering. Moksha is the state of perfect realization in which the individual transcends the illusions of the material world. Buddhism was founded in India in the 6th century BC by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. He taught the path to enlightenment through mindfulness, meditation and ethical behavior in order to overcome suffering. Buddhism, which is based on the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, is widespread in Asia and emphasizes the path to enlightenment through mindfulness, meditation and adherence to ethical principles. Buddhism teaches the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path as a way to overcome suffering. Buddhist practices and philosophies promote compassion, selflessness and personal growth. Karma in Buddhism. Karma is a central Buddhist principle that states that every action, positive or negative, influences future experiences. It emphasizes the importance of ethical action, as good deeds lead to positive results, while bad deeds lead to suffering, both in this life and in future rebirths. Nirvana in Buddhism. Nirvana is the highest goal in Buddhism, a state of complete liberation from suffering and the cycle of rebirths. It represents the ultimate enlightenment in which desires, attachments and the ego are dissolved, leading to eternal peace and freedom and ending the karmic cycle. African spiritual traditions are deeply rooted in the continent's cultures and vary widely. They emphasize the connection to ancestors, nature spirits and the community and have existed for thousands of years. African spiritual systems emphasize the connection to ancestors, nature spirits and the community. These traditions, which are practiced in various African countries and the African diaspora, promote a deep understanding of the cycles of life and death, the importance of rituals and the power of nature. Spiritual harmony with nature in African spirituality. Harmony with nature is central to African spirituality. It teaches that all life is sacred and promotes a respectful relationship with the environment. This belief influences daily life and spiritual practices that seek balance with the natural world. Inspired by the belief systems of ancient Africa, revived at the time in Egypt and since the early 1970s in Africa, as well as by the African diaspora in America and Europe, Kemetism is characterized by the veneration of a multitude of divinities and an emphasis on Ma'a, truth, justice and cosmic order. This spiritual practice, which has its roots in the culture of the Nile Valley, emphasizes harmony between people, deities and the natural world. In modern Kemetism, rituals and prayers based on ancient texts and practices are organized to establish a link with divine principles. Followers strive to live their lives in accordance with the principles of Ma'a, including the promotion of justice and harmony within the community. Ma'a in Kemetism. Ma'a represents the ideal order in the universe and in human life, including truth, justice and harmony. Followers of Kemetism strive to reflect Ma'a in their daily lives, which promotes ethical behavior and the maintenance of balance and order in society. Duat in Kemetism. Duat, the afterlife in ancient Egypt, is a central concept that describes the soul's journey after death. It is seen as a place of trial where souls are judged according to their actions during life. Successful navigation through the Duat leads to reunion with the divine forces and an eternal life in harmony with Ma'at. These religious leadership principles, though deeply rooted in specific faith contexts, transcend cultural and spiritual boundaries to offer universal lessons for leaders everywhere. They emphasize values such as compassion, integrity, selflessness and the importance of community and ethical action. These values are critical to building trust, fostering teamwork and achieving sustainable success. By analyzing these principles, we gain insight not only into leadership within religious communities, but also into the application of these timeless wisdoms in today's diverse and often divided world. Leadership values. African religions center on the deep connection between the living, the ancestors, and the natural world. These relationships characterize an understanding of leadership based on community, respect for nature, and spiritual harmony. Leadership is closely linked to the role of mediator, balancing not only between people but also between the physical and spiritual worlds. Sense of community. African leadership principles emphasize the importance of a sense of community. A leader must put the good of the community above personal interests and make decisions that benefit all members. This fosters a strong sense of belonging and support within the community. Respect for nature. Respect for the natural world is a central element of African spirituality. Leaders are encouraged to promote sustainable practices and make decisions that protect and preserve the environment. This respect fosters an awareness of the long-term impact of human activity on the earth. Mediator role. In African traditions, leaders often act as mediators who maintain harmony within the community and between the community and the spiritual world. This role requires a deep understanding of the needs and desires of all stakeholders and the ability to resolve conflicts wisely and fairly. Moral integrity. Ethics and moral integrity are cornerstones of African leadership philosophies. Leaders are expected to lead by example, act fairly, and always consider the ethical implications of their decisions. This creates a culture of trust and credibility. Adaptability and flexibility. Recognizing the constant change in the natural and spiritual world requires African leaders to be flexible and adaptable. This ability to respond to change and learn from challenges is critical for leadership in a rapidly changing world. Leadership values. In Hinduism, Dharma and karma are central concepts that profoundly shape the understanding of leadership. Dharma refers to the moral and ethical duties of an individual, while karma encompasses the idea that every action inevitably has consequences. These principles guide leaders to make decisions that are not only in line with ethical standards, but also have a positive long-term impact on the community and the environment. Ethical behavior. Hindu leadership principles emphasize the importance of ethical action in all aspects of life. Leaders are encouraged to make decisions that reflect moral integrity and consider the well-being of all stakeholders. This fosters trust and respect within the team and the wider community. A sense of duty. The concept of dharma reminds leaders to take their roles and responsibilities seriously. This means that they focus not only on the success of their organization, but also on their contribution to social and environmental well-being. Such a sense of duty leads to a more sustainable and holistic approach to leadership. Effects of decisions. The understanding of karma in Hinduism teaches leaders to consider the long-term effects of their decisions. This encourages forward planning and consideration of the potential consequences of every action, both positive and negative. Leadership values. Buddhism emphasizes compassion, selflessness, and the pursuit of enlightenment. These principles profoundly influence the way a leader thinks and acts. Compassion and selflessness encourage leadership behavior that focuses on the well-being of others, while the pursuit of enlightenment emphasizes personal and spiritual development. Inner work. Buddhist leadership begins with the inner work of the leader. This includes the practice of mindfulness and meditation to develop self-awareness and promote a clear mind. These practices help leaders to face stressful situations with calm and make more conscious decisions. Mindfulness. Mindfulness in leadership means being present and fully in the moment, both in relation to your own actions and to the needs of the team. This fosters a deeper connection with employees and allows you to respond more sensitively to their needs and the work environment. Compassion in leadership. Compassion is at the heart of Buddhist leadership principles. It is about developing a deep understanding and empathy for the experiences and challenges of others. A compassionate leader can effectively respond to the needs of their team, resolve conflicts with understanding, and create a supportive, positive work culture. Leadership values. The ancient Africans illustrated, through their complex social structure and monumental achievements, how visionary leadership and collective effort can lead to lasting success. The pharaohs were divinely inspired leaders, exercising political and religious power and acting as guardians of harmony and order. This duality in their role teaches us the importance of balanced leadership that embraces both authority and care. Ethical behavior. Mayat, a central concept in ancient African culture, symbolizes truth, justice, order, and harmony. Leaders are encouraged to make decisions that reflect these values in order to maintain balance in society. This underlines the need for ethical behavior and integrity in leadership, which builds trust and lays the foundations for lasting success. The sense of duty. The pharaohs and their officials were deeply involved in a system of duties that guaranteed the well-being of the state and its citizens. This teaches us that true leadership goes beyond personal success and requires a deep commitment to the community and its needs. Impact of decisions. The ancient Africans living in the Nile Valley were masters at planning and executing major projects, such as the construction of the pyramids, which still stand today. This underlines the importance of strategic planning and taking into account the long-term impact of decisions. Leaders need to be aware that their decisions can influence generations. Personal development. Ancient Africans placed great importance on education, knowledge, and skills development. The training of scribes and the accumulation of knowledge in great libraries such as Heliopolis showed that continuous learning and personal development are essential to success. It reminds us that lifelong learning and the continuous development of our skills are essential to personal fulfillment. Leadership values. Indigenous religions place great emphasis on deep connection with nature, ancestors, and community. These belief systems emphasize the importance of harmony, respect, and a keen awareness of the interdependence of all living beings. Leadership within these traditions is deeply rooted in the principles of protecting the earth, upholding traditions, and promoting the well-being of the community. Harmony with nature. In leadership practice, harmony with nature means adopting a sustainable perspective that places ecological responsibility and environmental protection at the center. Leaders who internalize this value initiate projects and strategies that not only strive for economic success, but also promote the long-term health of our planet. Personally, this principle teaches us to adapt our lifestyles to use fewer resources and be more in tune with the natural world, leading to a more respectful treatment of the earth and its inhabitants. Community-oriented action. In leadership, focusing on the common good means making decisions that bring long-term benefits for the whole group or organization, rather than prioritizing short-term gains for individuals. This fosters a strong sense of belonging and motivation among team members as they realize that their contribution contributes to the overall success. For personal growth, it teaches the importance of cooperation and selflessness, leading to richer interpersonal relationships and a more fulfilling way of life. Respect for the ancestors. Appreciating the wisdom and teachings of ancestors in leadership is demonstrated in practice by considering historical successes and mistakes when planning future strategies. This awareness of the past helps to avoid repeating mistakes and build on proven successes. In personal growth, It fosters a deep understanding of one's origins and identity, leading to a stronger sense of self and a more solid moral compass. Spiritual connectedness. In leadership practice, spiritual connectedness means making decisions that not only strive for business success, but also consider ethical values and the good of the community. This approach promotes a culture of integrity and authenticity. On a personal level, spiritual connectedness helps to find meaning and purpose in life, leading to greater satisfaction and inner peace. Fostering resilience and adaptability. Indigenous leadership principles that emphasize resilience and flexibility teach us to see challenges as opportunities for learning and growth. In leadership, this encourages a proactive attitude to change and the ability to be creative and innovative in uncertain times. Personally, it supports the development of a mental strength that enables us to overcome setbacks and emerge stronger from any situation. These lessons from indigenous religions offer valuable perspectives for modern leadership practice, particularly in relation to environmental protection, community work, and the importance of tradition and spirituality. They remind us that effective leadership requires a deep connection to the world around us and that true authority comes from service to life itself. In our exploration of polytheistic religions and African and indigenous spirituality, we have discovered that these traditions offer unique perspectives on leadership that are deeply rooted in the concepts of community, respect for nature, and spiritual connectedness. These approaches emphasize the importance of harmony, collective well-being, and the role of the leader as a mediator between the visible and invisible worlds. These spiritual paths teach us that effective leadership goes beyond mere guidance or management. It requires a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all forms of life and a recognition that our decisions have far-reaching effects on the community and the environment. These lessons offer valuable insights for anyone seeking to lead in an increasingly complex world and emphasize the need to practice leadership with a sense of responsibility, care, and ethical integrity. Recommendations for action for sustainable development. Inspired by the profound insights into polytheistic religions and African and indigenous spirituality, we invite you to integrate these unique perspectives on leadership into your life. Choose one of the spiritual practices or lessons presented today and endeavor to live them consciously in your everyday life, whether professional or personal, in the coming weeks. Perhaps you feel inspired to deepen a practice of mindfulness that strengthens your connection to nature and those around you, or you want to highlight the importance of community and collective well-being through an initiative in your neighborhood. We encourage you to share your progress and insights, whether in the comments or through a personal project that illuminates the rich connection between spiritual values and effective leadership. We encourage you to view the first part of this miniseries for a complete overview of lessons from the world's religions. In the first part, we focused on monotheistic religions and derived equally valuable lessons for your everyday life. The focus was on Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Enjoy watching. Let's grow together and learn how we can become more effective and inspiring leaders by applying this ancient wisdom. Don't forget to share this video to give others the chance to benefit from these profound lessons.
Thank you for watching. We hope you have gained valuable insights from this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification function to stay up to date with our informative videos.